gotta get our mouth guard, people!
Fear! No, that's not ours! Disgust. Glad to have her on our team.
Why are the new emotions bad guys in Inside Out? In 2015, everyone was buzzing about this awesome animated movie, but now things seem to be taking a dark turn. So what do we know so far about this?
We are suppressed emotions!
Let Operation New Riley begin.
When Inside Out came out in 2015, it talked about feelings and growing up, which can be pretty tough. The movie showed us that all feelings matter, even the not so happy ones like sadness. It was all about dealing with changes and making decisions. Back then, not a lot of kids' movies talked about how hard it is to grow up, especially how it messes with our emotions. Even now, people still talk about Inside Out because it nailed how our minds work. In the new Inside Out 2 movie, they've added 4 new emotions to Riley's mind. These emotions are going to shake things up and change how she deals with everything around her. The trailer shows how these new feelings might affect Riley's main emotions. So, Joy is wondering about something, but she gets interrupted. She's talking about a major issue from the first Inside Out movie, the tricky relationship between joy and sadness. This happens because Riley usually feels happy. Joy always thought Riley could handle everything and anything, and always wanted her to be happy, even when things got tough at home. But by doing that, Joy kinda stopped sadness from doing her thing, which made it hard for Riley to express her true feelings. This is the part where Joy draws a circle on the floor and tells sadness to stay inside it. It seems kinda funny, but it's showing how sadness is being pushed away and ignored. This hints at how anxiety might play a big role in the new movie. Someone says the original 5 emotions aren't enough to help Riley deal with her life changes. Then they put Joy and the others in a jar to stop them from messing with Riley's decisions. It's not just a joke, it's serious stuff. The original 5 emotions know things are really bad. Fear even calls them repressed emotions before they start banging on the glass, trying to get out. Remember from the first movie, if an emotion disappears, it's not good news, especially without Joy around. When Riley moved to San Francisco, she found it hard to deal with. She missed her old home so much that she wanted to run away. All her strong emotions like anger, fear, and disgust made things even tougher. Now, since she might lose Joy and the others in the sequel, she could get overwhelmed by those feelings. So with Joy gone, anxiety becomes the main emotion driving Riley's choices. Remember that funny scene with the dinosaur? That's a good example. Also, without Joy, the emotions can't control the control panel like they used to. In Riley's mind headquarters, they use a control panel for lots of stuff, like making decisions, talking, and coming up with ideas. In the first movie, Joy was mostly in charge of the control panel, letting the other emotions take a back seat. At first, Joy made most of the decisions, but towards the end, sadness got a chance too. She fixed some of the mess caused by the other emotions. Everyone realized that all emotions are important, so they started working together as a team with the control panel. At the end of the movie, the workers in Riley's mind made the control panel bigger and added more buttons, including one for puberty. This hints at the second movie, where Riley goes through her teenage years. They bring in 4 new emotions: anxiety, envy, embarrassment, and anger. They made the control panel bigger to fit in all 9 emotions, but anxiety isn't too sure about that. When Riley meets a new person in high school, anxiety seems to have some doubts. When Riley is about to talk to someone new, anxiety tries to take charge, but Joy stops her. This makes Riley act silly, which anxiety finds embarrassing. Because Joy won't let anxiety have more control, it creates tension with the new emotions. Sometimes our feelings team up to take over, making it hard for Joy to make choices. We're happy to have her around. Our little ones are growing up quickly. That was number 3 on the emotional scale. We've all had big feelings that can be so strong they block out other emotions and clear thinking. Riley knows this firsthand. Without joy and sadness, things get tricky for her. Riley gets super mad in a scene from Inside Out when her family won't stop asking her about her day during dinner. She snaps and lets out her anger. Later, anger makes her lash out at her old friend when she feels left out. It looks like Riley will have even bigger feelings. As she gets ready for high school, she wants to make new friends and fit in, but trying too hard can make her feel anxious and want to run away when she misses home. Riley's super conscious of everything she says and does, especially since Joy isn't there to help her stay true to herself like usual. Without Joy, she might start feeling stressed out. In one scene, Mrs. Anderson wakes Riley up in the morning and asks why she hasn't packed for a trip, but Riley's reaction gets more and more emotional. She says she's the worst and almost starts crying. In other scenes from the trailer, everything in her mind is orange, showing that anxiety has taken over completely. Poor Riley must be feeling a lot. We know from the first movie that anxiety can kick them out of headquarters completely. Joy and Sadness got stuck outside HQ after messing up with Riley's core memories. They had to journey through her mind, visiting places like Long-Term Memory, Imagination Land, and Dream Productions. So these places are where Riley's thoughts and memories are handled. In the sequel, the trailer shows joy, sadness, and the other emotions getting lost in Riley's mind. They're on a mission to find their way back home, wandering through long-term memory and chatting with mine workers. But the longer they're away from headquarters, the more it messes with Riley's mind. Like, it can cause some serious problems. One of Riley's personality islands is a Goofball Island. Joy needs to be there to keep it running smoothly. Without Joy, Riley would have a hard time having fun, and Goofball Island would just shut down. If Anxiety and her crew took over and removed Riley's core emotions from headquarters, they'd have full control over Riley. They could shut down parts of her personality and make new ones to take their place. Because Joy and the gang are far from home, they can fix things until they make it back to headquarters. They could come back to Riley without Goofball Island, which means she could lose things like friendship, hockey, honesty, and family. That's a big deal because it would change who Riley is. It's like taking out the core emotions from her brain. So if Anxiety and her crew took control, they could mess with Riley. We've seen this idea hinted at before in the first movie's epilogue. Joy talks about how Riley's personality grows and changes, just like how new personality islands form. So if they mess with her core emotions, they could change who Riley is at her core. Like, Riley's Goofball Island shows how her happiness and sense of humor shape her personality. Anxiety might make her island in Riley's mind, fueled by moments when Riley feels super nervous. The trailer shows that Anxiety's main goal is to change Riley. In one scene, Anxiety shows up on a screen in front of a bunch of mine workers, and they're all scrambling to do what she says. She talks about Operation in New Riley, which sounds pretty intense. They're trying to change everything about Riley, her actions, personality, and what she likes. Lots of people can understand how tough it is to fit in with a new friends group or start at a new school. From what we hear in the trailer, Riley wants to make new friends before she starts high school next year, but she feels like she has to change who she is to fit in with this new crowd. There's a scene where her old friends look sad to see her drifting away from them. Riley's inner struggle with all this could be the main story conflict. And Inside Out, these emotions play a big role in everyone's life. We all feel anxious, envious, and embarrassed sometimes. Just like how Riley learned to deal with sadness in the first movie, she's got to learn to handle these emotions too. In Inside Out, these emotions are super important and play a big role in everyone's life. We all feel anxious, jealous, and embarrassed sometimes, just like how Riley learned to deal with sadness in the first movie. She's gotta learn to handle these feelings too, but she shouldn't forget to keep her joy and stay true to herself. So these new emotions think they know what's right for Riley and are pushing her to change how she acts. This is gonna cause a lot of problems and challenges for Riley and her original emotions to deal with in the sequel. It's gonna be intense. Do share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button before you go. We will meet you in the next one.
Wow, those guys are jerks.